Hey Ashley, I hope that you are having a great trip home. I hope that you had a lot of fun on your camping trip, and I just hope you make it safely. First off, I just want to say hi. My name is Chance, and thank you for sharing your post about your views on psychopathology and the secular worldview of abnormalities and what the Bible says about abnormalities. So, Kringen Johnson, 2021, talks about many different factors, and you made mention of it. And I think there's a lot of influences that go into play when you're dealing with psychological disorders and psychopathology. You have genetic influences, neuroscience influences, like cognitive behavioral influences, and then you got social emotional influences, and all of those are kind of interworking when you're dealing with psychological disorders. Well, I would say psychological disorders and psychopathology, and one thing you talked about was how the Bible views abnormalities, and they look at it more of a spiritual aspect. But one thing to think about, this is something that we'll dwell on this week, is in the beginning there was Adam and Eve, and everything was perfect. There was no sin, there was no hurt, there was no psychological disorders or abnormalities in the garden. And after sin was induced into the world, that's when everything kind of changed. And ever since then, we've had psychological disorders and things like that. So, just kind of made me think about how it was back then. One thing I will say is the God today is the same God but that he was with Noah. He's the same God that he was with Abraham. He is the same God today. So with that, in John 9, 1 John 9, Jesus comes in and his disciples are with him, and the disciples are talking and they're asking Jesus, what did this blind man do to, become blind? Like, what kind of issues, what kind of sin did his parents or that he committed in order for him to be blind? And Jesus said that he was born blind for one purpose only, for the glorification of God. That is, something that I thought about this week too, is that God does not make mistakes. And we just gotta view psychopathology and everything with psychological disorders the way Jesus did, and that's to be love, kind, and show compassion.